Good evening. This is the Dolores County Broadcasting Network. And I have nothing to report. I really don't. I don't have anything to report right now, except, you know what? I did hear sad news today on the internets. And that was that Alex Trebek has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. That is a show that I have always enjoyed watching for many, many, many years. So that's the only news that we have here. The DC TV 4-TV news program for March 6, 2019. The camera person is Cowboy Harrison. Video and sound engineer and producer Edward. Teleprompter and prompter is Myra. News anchor is Lion Green. Meteorologist is Scooter Faulkner. And this is news director Dan, and now the news.
Welcome to the DCTV 4-H Kids Evening News Show. Help us keep our news show on the air by becoming a sponsor. You can buy a sponsorship by calling 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Now for the news. Hi, I am Austin. Our first story is from the Denver Post. Lifting federal protections for gray wolves gets mixed reaction. A proposal by the Trump administration to lift the protections for gray wolves across the lower 48 states is getting a mixed reaction in Washington state. Republican U.S. Representative Dan Newhouse, who represents Central Washington, hauled Wednesday's announcements, which he said will return management of the species back to the states and tribes. The best available science shows that gray wolf was successfully recovered from the danger of extinction and no longer requires federal protection. Newhouse said, "We can see in Washington state that the wolf population is growing quickly while being effectively managed by Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife in eastern third of the state. Wolves are struggling to survive in Washington state, and Trump's plan will only make things worse," said Amork Weiss, a wolf advocate with the group which has been highly critical of hunting of wolves that prey on livestock. The environmental group Conservation Northwest took a wait-and-see attitude. Wolves are a state endangered species throughout Washington, where they were all but wiped out early in the last century. Wolves started returning from neighboring Idaho and Canada after the turn of the new century. They also remain federally protected in the western two-thirds of the state, where killing wolves is prohibited. Most of the wolf packs are concentrated in the northeastern corner of the state, where they have come into conflict with ranchers. Wolves were shot, trapped, and poisoned out of the existence in most of the U.S. by the mid-20th century. They received endangered species protections in 1975, when there were only about 1,000 left, only in northern Minnesota. Now, more than 5,000 of the animals live in contiguous U.S. Most are in the western Great Lakes and northern Rockies regions. Protections for the northern Rockies population were lifted in 2011, and hundreds are now killed annually by hunters. This story is from the Durango Herald. Tunnels discovered under Alcatraz. Archaeologists have confirmed a long suspicion of historians say that famed Alcatraz prison was built over a Civil War-era military fortification. The San Francisco Gate reports researchers have found a series of buildings and tunnels under the prison yard of Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary, which are held Al Capone. A study published near Surface Geophysics says archaeologists used ground-penetrating radar and terrestrial lasers, scans, and historical maps and photographs. They found fully buried structures, ammunition, magazines, and tunnels. Historians believe workers built over existing structures when the prison was built in the 20th century. Alcatraz first became to the attention of the U.S. government after it wrestled control of California from Mexico in the 1840s. Its location in San Francisco Bay made it attractive for military fortification purposes. Then later, when a secure prison was needed to house the worst of the baddest, Alcatraz seemed ideal. Through the years, we have heard of many who tried to escape, but so far there's no real proof of such an escape, only legends. Over several years have tried, but either they were recaptured or just never found and were presumed dead. The current around the island is very strong and tricky. You really need a boat to get away, so if bodies were never found, it was presumed that the escapes drowned or maybe sharks got them. The story is from the Cortez Journal. The community came out Saturday to welcome home Joey Whited, who was badly injured in a motorcycle accident in September. The homecoming held at Dolores Outfitters attracted a large crowd of people, said Jeremy Whited, Joey's dad. It felt awesome to have everyone there to support us, he said. Joey's friends were all there and we're so happy to see him. Joey, 15, suffered a brain injury and has been undergoing surgeries and treatment in Denver hospitals since the accident. He is confined to a wheelchair. Thanks to a significant donation, Joey will be receiving an all-terrain wheelchair with tracks this week. It goes everywhere and will allow him to be outside where he loves to be. Whited said, "We can go to football games, on walks, and even go hunting with it." The chair has a lift function for a standing position that is beneficial for his recovery. A wheelchair ramp was installed at the Whited home by members of the Dolores Fire Protection District. Having him back in Dolores around people he knows and is familiar with will help with the healing process. Whited said, "It was a terrible accident, but we are going to get through it and keep on going." All around town, Joey Strong signs and people wear t-shirts with the inspirational message as well. We at DCTV are glad to hear a good report about this young man. Not all who are involved in a car or motorcycle crash have a good outcome. When our program director was an EMT, she was called out to a motorcycle crash with worst outcome there is. It changed her view of motorcycles, and ever since she doesn't hesitate to approach motorcyclists and encourage them to wear helmets. If she can't see a helmet on them or their bike, so be warned. If she can't see that you have a helmet with you, this stranger may just have a little nice talk with you. At least she cares. This story is from the Cortez Journal. Here are 2 short stories for you. We hope you will be entertained. A woman who called Houston's non-emergency dispatch line after discovering a tiger inside a cage at an abandoned home told the shocked dispatcher, "I'm not lying." The Houston Chronicle obtained a recording of the call after animal rescue workers found the well-fed animal resting on a bed of hay Monday inside a cage they said could be easily opened. Police say a group of people looking for a place to smoke marijuana happened to cross the tiger on Monday. The woman told the dispatcher, "It's pretty big." Authorities say the animal weighed 350 pounds, 159 kilograms. Investigators have leads into who owned the tiger, but it may not be the person who owns the property. The tiger has been moved to an animal sanctuary in Texas. The tiger was nicknamed Tyson after the movie The Hangover. This story will make us think. It is hard to believe anyone who would fall for it, but some are. Patients ask me all the time if I know if they are receiving old blood or young blood, and I reassure them that either will be effective at the same time. There is no conceiving evidence that the use of transfused blood from younger patients has magical anti-aging properties to it. As a matter of fact, studies have shown no benefit in terms or outcome or survival when fresher red blood cells are transfused as opposed to older red blood cells. Nevertheless, a new startup known as Ambrosia, started by Stanford University medical school graduate, is charging thousands of dollars to transfuse younger blood into older patient veins with the unproven promise of showing the aging process. Now for Hannah with our dumb state laws story.
Our dumb law segment are actually laws on the books in many states, cities, and municipalities. Dumb laws in South Carolina. Every adult male must bring a rifle to church on Sunday in order to ward off Indian attacks. No work may be done on Sunday. It is a capital offense to inadvertently kill someone while attempting suicide. Musical instruments may not be sold on Sunday. A person must be 18 years old to play a pinball machine. Performing a U-turn within 1,000 feet of an intersection is illegal. It is considered an offense to get a tattoo. Horses may not be kept in bathtubs. By law, it If a male promises to marry an unmarried woman, the marriage must take place. It is illegal to sell any alcoholic beverages on Sunday unless you own a private club. Railroad companies may be held liable in some instances for scaring horses. Now for the weather report. Our current weather data comes from the DCTV weather station located in the beautiful downtown Dove Creek. The current temperature is 45 degrees. The high for today was 48 degrees. The low was 37 degrees. The barometer is at 29.83 inches and is falling. Humidity is at 79%. Wind is between 1 and 6 miles per hour from the south. Gusts have been up to 28 miles per hour. There were 0.00 of an inch of moisture melted today in the DCTV weather station. Moisture for the month is 0.06 of an inch. Moisture accumulation for the year is 2.6 of an inch. Now for the big map, courtesy of the National Weather Service. We have lots of weather to report today. We start with rain along the coast from Washington into California. Then we move inland for rain mixed with snow from South Washington into California and then east into Colorado. Snow starts in Idaho and runs southeast into a narrow band and ends in northern Missouri and Illinois. More rain shows up in South Utah and Colorado and ends in New Mexico. A small area of the South Texas is coated in rain. The south center of the country and along the Atlantic coast is clear. Here's our exclusive DCTV 5-day forecast. There is a chance of rain / snow high 48, low 33. Friday, snow showers likely, high 41, low 22. Saturday, partly sunny, high 36, low 22. 21. Sunday, mostly cloudy, high 43, low 30. Monday, chance of rain / snow, high 43, low 29. Now for the weather report now for the SNOTEL report, which is the amount of snowpack in the mountains across the state. We hope it will be helpful for our farmers and our skiers statewide. The snowpack is 115% of normal. Here in the Southwest, we only have 25% of normal. Now for the climate change report. CO2 carbon dioxide is considered a greenhouse gas and is one of the principal causes of climate change. CO2 traps heat in the atmosphere which causes climate instability. This results in significant variations worldwide in moisture and hot and cool temperatures, but the general climate trend is the planet is slowly warming. Therefore, it is important that we report the CO2 weekly change. The following are the CO2 numbers in parts per million. Last week, 412.4. 2 weeks ago, 410.98. Last year, 408.78. 10 years ago, 388.42. 50 years ago, 325.64. Thank you, Dr. Peter Tanza, the National Oceanographic Atmospheric Administration, and Michael McGee of the CO2.Earth Network for providing this information. Remember, you can help keep our kids' news show on air by buying a sponsorship. To become a sponsor, just call 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Thank you. Now back to your news director.
And that is the end of today's DCTV 4-H evening news program. This is your news director who's going to be on a hiatus for a couple of weeks, saying good night and thank you for watching.